Hello, my loves. How are you guys? I just got done in the shower, so I am doing my makeup now. Kind of sitting comfortably. It's kind of rainy outside, dark, and I'm just kind of relaxing into getting my makeup done. And then I'm going to move on to all the different little jobs I have to do today. And I'll maybe take you along with me or make another video of it anyway, because for some reason I've only been able to make short little clips. So this is probably going to be a short little clip, and I will probably make another video. I don't know what is happening with our internet or whatever, but we're going to move on. And so I'm going to do my makeup. I am just going to, my hair is still a little bit wet, and then I'll blow dry it after I get my makeup on. So yeah, so we're going to get started. So as I was saying yesterday, as I do the vitamin C serum, I do that under my eyes. And then on the side of my eyes where you get the little crow's feet wrinkles. And then I do a little bit on my dark spots. I don't know if it's good for them or not, but I do a little there. And then I do my deep laugh lines. I love to laugh and have a little fun. And then maybe just a little bit there because I still had a little bit on here. So that's what I do. And of course, the vitamin C has really helped me. I think it's helped me to not have so many wrinkles and to stay a little bit younger looking. I am doing really good on my diet the last 3 days. I've been walking. I've been trying to get in a mile at least each day. And that's about all the time I have, I guess. But anyway, and my hips have been hurting, so I'm easing into it so I can maybe eventually go longer walks. But for just starting out again, yeah, I walked in the rain yesterday. I got poured on, but it was a lot of fun. I love walking in the rain. I love rainy days. Raining days are usually my sewing days. And I haven't been in my shop for a while, but I do have some projects stacking up that I need to do for myself. I haven't been taking in any clients lately, probably for about a year since my brother passed away. So I may get back to it, but for right now, I've just been doing things for myself, sewing things for myself, and catching up on some, different things that need repaired around the house, and making different little decoration things for the house. And I do have some pillows that I want to recover the front of them. I was trying to find some fabric today. Our fabric store closed here in town, and we just have Michael's left. No. Hobby Lobby. Sorry, not Michael's. Hobby Lobby. We just have them left to get fabric. So, I don't know. I was looking online, and some of the prices online were a little bit expensive, but I know fabric has gone up. So, I'm not sure exactly what I want. So, I'm going to look in my stash. That's another area of great need for organization. Not really organization, but I need to really get rid of and unload some fabric. So if I can give it to like the after school program or something, I don't know what, but all those little small pieces, I was going to save them and like, oh, when I retire, then I'm going to go ahead and make quilts and all this stuff. Well, I have made 2 quilts, 2 that are in the process, and then I want to make another quilt, but I have to get the other 2 finished. So that's another couple sewing projects that I need to finish. So I will be in my shop a lot this summer, sewing away. And then we're going to do, we use this one here. It's like anti-aging. It's for hydration. We used that yesterday in yesterday's video. And I'll link one below that's similar to this. And it's for moisturizer and hydration. And so that's a real good one. And I'll link the vitamin C serum also. And then I just use a little, I don't know how I acquired these, but I acquired a whole bunch of these. I think I bought a lot of them. And I've just been using them because I didn't want them to go to waste. I was selling them on Poshmark. And I'm just going to put a little concealer under my eyes, kind of blend it in. And then the deep set part, I'm going to kind of put a little under there to kind of brighten that up a little bit. And then I'm going to do some here to kind of blend in my dark spots. And then up here. And then I match this, so I go down here a little bit. And then do my laugh lines just a little bit to get them to blend in a little more. A little bit on the sides of my nose. And we might want to tone down the eyebrows. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get our sponge. Where is my sponge? I know I need to wash it or get another one out. I don't see my sponge today. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it does need washed really bad. So we're just going to kind of sponge this in. I like to pull it out to the sides. Like whatever's around your eyes, just kind of pull it out to the sides there. I think that kind of helps. Dab it in there. Pull those eyes around. Open your eyes up for beauty, right? Open it up. Open it up for beauty. Right, right. We are gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Just the way we are. What the heck was that noise? Sounded like somebody tried to come in my door. I don't know what that noise was. You see me running. Oh, gee. No idea. Okay. So we kind of tone things down a little bit. For the concealer wise, I think that looks pretty good. And then when we put on our foundation, it'll kind of blend a little more. So I'll set that there. And then I have this light foundation. I've always used CoverGirl. But for some reason, I have this lighter one that I picked up. And I should have a little bit darker one, but it'll be fine until I start getting tan. Then it might look sort of weird. And I'm just going to rub it into my fingers. Just kind of dab it on. Get in those crevices, you know. Not too bad. You can do a little on your neck if you want to. You don't want to go too far down, especially if you're wearing white. Just want it to kind of blend in a little. And make sure you get the bridge of your nose kind of blended. Because sometimes I'll do my makeup and then I'll go look in the mirror and it's like I have a white line whoop, where I didn't like blend in the flat part of my nose or whatever. You know, it's like, ah! I know my neighbor lady, she loves makeup and lipsticks and stuff too. And so we're always talking about makeup and products and different things when we get together. But she was saying, she said, yeah, she said, one thing I'm so glad I have a husband, she said, because I told him, when I get old, don't ever let me go out of the house with just little circles of blush on. Like how older people, they just have the little circle of blush, you know. They try so hard to get it right, but there's a little circle and nothing's blended in. She goes, I don't ever want to look like that. I thought it was funny. I was like, I know exactly what she was talking about. I know what she was saying. It's like, bless her heart. She's a lot of fun. She's something else. Let's see. Then what do we want to do? What do we want to do? I think I'm going to leave it as is there. I might do my eyebrows a little bit. Now I have this gel for my eyebrows, and I've been using it lately, this gel, and it really gets, it's quite liquidy, and it really gets my eyebrows like, I don't know. I don't think I want to use it. I haven't wanted to use it here in the last 2 days. I'm just going to use like a brow pencil. I'm just going to kind of very lightly draw in a little bit. I like to bring those eyebrows down a little. They don't quite grow. Closer to my nose like they should. They used to, and then I just kept plucking them and plucking them and plucking them because it would have been a bridge, you know, going all the way across, like a unibrow going all the way across when I was younger. And I just kept plucking them, and now it's like, I don't know if I plucked them back too far, and now they don't want to grow in. But I have a little spooler. I forget what they call this thing, something like that. But anyway, we're just going to kind of brush them up. And you want it to look natural, like the line, you want it to blend in naturally, not look like a pencil mark. Sometimes you have to dig down a little bit to lift it. And this one. So I like doing some other videos, other just making sweets in the kitchen, right? Because, you know, I can't keep doing it. Even though I love it, I can't keep doing it. This one needs just a little something more. Let me see. I don't want to get it too wide either, though. It needs to come down just a little bit. I hope I got it right. I'm not the professional, but I try hard. Yeah, I think that looks a little better than not framing my eye. It's a little different. I usually don't do my eyebrows like that, so it's a little bit different, but I actually kind of like it. So we'll leave it alone. And then when I put my glasses on, it'll be like, oh, heck no, I gotta like tone it down. But we'll wait until the end for that. Let's see here. So we did the concealer, we did that. How about some eyeliner? I have one here I need to sharpen. What was the brow? Where does it go? Where is it? My brush. Is it? Well, that's the one I need to sharpen. Where is my liner? I don't see it. I have to use the same I use for my eyebrow or something because I don't see. Oh, here it is, I think. I think this is it. No, that's liner. I do that once in a while and do the little cat eye once in a while. But it's really hard when you start getting wrinkles by your eye to make it like really swoop real nice. Maybe there's a trick to it and you guys will have to let me know. I think this was my eyeliner and it got broke off. I don't have anything else but floss hairpins in this bag. I don't see it. I don't even know if there's enough here to do my eye. Let me see. I don't want to scratch my eye either. Real tiny. This definitely needs sharpened and it needs its end. Well, here's the end for it. Here's the end. Okay, now we're going to do some little eyeshadow. I have a little rag here. I'm going to wipe out my brush so that takes the colors away from yesterday. And then I think we'll use some Sephora. We might use some Sephora and we might use some just regular cheapy one. I'm going to use this bronzy copper color because it kind of matches my shirt, this copper color, on the top lid. But in the underneath, on the actual lid, I'm going to be using this little sparkle color right here. It looks real nice. It kind of sparkles, and it really adds a little glitzy glamour, I think, to your eye. Something like that. And then I like to blend it out to the side. Blend it all the way out so your eyes look a little wider. More luxurious. You want to make sure you get in the middle there so it doesn't look all, mine looks deep set and kind of purpley, so I want to make sure I get that. Doesn't that look pretty? Hopefully you can see it. Okay, then we're going to switch it up and rub off our brush on this rag that I have here. And then I'm going to use this little copper color on the other side of my brush. And I'm going to use that up top, and I'm going to blend in those eyebrows. And I know it looks a little like a lot right now. And we're going to also blend it out to the side. Okay. And I'm going to flip over the brush and then really blend it in and out towards the side. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Blend it in. And then out towards the side. There. And then when we get all done, we'll come back in and tone it down a tad with our fingers. That's what I like to do. But I have a dark spot right by my eyebrow, right there. So I blended it in with concealer and makeup, and then I put, I look like a clown right now, but we're going to blend it out. We can do it now if you want to. I was waiting to get my, maybe I'll wait a little bit because I want to not get it on my hands right now. All right, and then we're going to use a little bit of, like for summer, like I was using these for fall, these two eyeshadows, and they're really kind of muted, drab. I might use this one's more summery looking. It's Ulta Beauty. Really needs cleaned up. Let's see what I can do here. I already started cleaning up this makeup anyway, so get this going. It's always fun to put on your makeup when everything is nice and clean. Speaking of nice and clean, I hope to get my car cleaned out a little bit today before the weekend. I need to vacuum. I got all the water bottles out of there. I know I did a video and I had all these water bottles in there. I apologize for that. Usually it's not like that. It was just going back and forth to my son's, and we didn't get a chance to pick them up. We had our hands full going in and out, and you know how it is. You know how it is. Okay, then I'm going to use my little brush here. And then get a little on the brush. And I think this is going to go nice with my shirt as well. And my eyeshadow. So we're just going to bring it up. Usually do this in my bedroom, but it's such a dark day that the lighting in there is terrible, and it's dark outside because it's rainy. So I decided to make a decision and just kind of, I'm taking the side, the edge, and kind of blending it like that. Blend it into your skin. So it just looks a little more natural, right? And then we're going to do the tip of our nose. And then a little up here above the eyebrow so it doesn't look so drastic with those. I think that looks pretty good. I wish I had a blending brush. Oh, scared the heck out of me. A blending brush for my eyes, my eyeshadow. But I'm going to have to use my fingers. All right, let's get our mascara on first. We got that done and that done and that done. That was probably Google. They call me and call me and call me. Your business page is not set up correctly, or would you like to spend money on your business page? No, I'm not taking alterations right now. I might, and if I go back to it, then maybe I will. But right now, I'm not. And then we're going to use for lipstick, we're going to use this here. This is just a cheapie LA Colors, but I like the color. I don't have my lip pencil in this bag. I actually just found a nice lip pencil that I had bought and I hadn't even used. So I just found it. I'm going to try to rub this out, this color, out of this brush. Then we're going to go back on the eyebrow. And then we'll brush some of this out. Goes on quite dark, but once you get it blended, I think it looks pretty nice. There, I like that a lot. It tones it down quite a bit. Looks more natural. That look pretty. Looks very nice, I think. I like it. Okay, now we are going to, we have our lipstick on. We're going to use this Sephora lip gloss, which is nice and thick, and it stays on. pretty good. I like it. It like really gives you pucker power. Okay, we're going to put these little tools back in here. Oh, here is my sharpener. I could sharpen that. I wonder if I could find it on top here. That pencil. That pencil needs sharpened. Find it again. There it is. I'm going to sharpen that and see if I can get my eyeliner a little better looking. I had a tissue here. I don't want to do it on that rag. Do it on this little envelope. I can throw it away. So I hope you guys have been taking some time for yourself and really think about your makeup colors for summer. Get yourself organized in your makeup because summertime, it seems like we're always on the go, right? Oh, doesn't fit so hot on the end of it at all. All right, let me see if I can do my eyeliner just a little bit darker. There we go. Cute. Half blind without my glasses, you know. Man, that anti-aging cream, that moisturizer, hydration lotion, I can tell a difference in my face. It looks so much more youthful, especially when I get my makeup on. Oh my gosh. I think it's really helping on my neck too. You know, I was doing this little routine, I guess you'd call it. I was taking Vicks, you know, Vicks that you use for colds and stuff like that. Vicks cream, you know, medicated Vicks. I was using that on my arms, and I was rubbing it into my cellulite on my arms, and then I was wrapping my arms with plastic wrap and leaving it on there for an hour or so. And I really noticed a difference in that. And I want to start doing my neck like way down here, like putting Vicks on it at night and then wrapping the plastic, you know, and then taking it off and see if like within a week, if there's a big difference, you know, because it really does help. And it's really helped medicated a lot of different areas on my body that I've, like my hands were really bad looking really old. And I did some Vicks, started putting Vicks on them at night and some little gloves type things, little white gloves. And sleeping with that, and it really does medicate. It really does help. And I just want to kind of put that out there because it really helped me a lot. And I know that I'm starting to lose a little bit of weight. I can see it in my face now, and I can see it in my fingers. My fingers look a little bit like longer, not so puffy or whatever. So the last 3 days, I feel better today than I have the last 4 days, but from allergies, from eating the wrong foods. I had some hemp seed, and I had been eating hemp seed all along, but this one time I put maybe just a little bit too much, because before I was just sprinkling just a little, and I was like, I added it to a salad, and I added maybe a little bit too much, and then I kind of like had a reaction, so now I'm done with it. That's it. I'm not doing that anymore. The more I try to eat like seeds and nuts and all that, the sicker I get. So I really backed up from it, and I just went back to the basics. I went back to just having My homemade yogurt, I'll have to show you my homemade yogurt at the end of this video. I need to take it out of the crock pot and put it into something, but it turned out so nice and thick. And it depends on what strand of yogurt culture you put in it. Like if it's a fresh one, if it's the yogurt culture that you buy at the store, it's just the culture. It's not another yogurt. It turns out nice and thick. But if I would go and make another batch of yogurt and I would use that same yogurt that I just made, then the strand gets weaker as you keep using it. So then you have to buy some store-bought and then, and then put it in there, or buy the culture and put it in there to get it thickened up again. So it's like every 3 times, I say. For me, that's what I've noticed, because I make the homemade yogurt on the weekends, and then it lasts me for the whole week. It'll last me. And I make a whole crock pot of it, and that's how much yogurt I eat. But it's the only animal product that I really eat. No, I can't say that. I don't eat red meat, and I eat, like last night I had a turkey burger. Haven't had one probably for about a year. Did it taste fantastic? It was so good, but I did get a stomachache after it. So I have to go back and read the label and make sure that it doesn't have any sunflower stuff in it or whatever. You buy turkey and you think that it's going to be plain turkey, right? Wrong. The reason we're all getting sicker and sicker and more allergies from all these different foods and things is because the way that they're processing our food. That's why I try to make my own food and do what I can to improve my health instead of, buying out and all that. I can't do the buying out stuff. Now this one, I can't tell if I have it upside down or not, but this one is what I'm using here. This is like to plump up your lashes. Got some on me. So I'm going to use this, a little bit of this, kind of helps find them. And then I'll come back in with another mascara. And I needed a mascara so bad, and I just picked up a real cheapy one this time. But it'll be time to change out pretty soon. I'm going to get a little more expensive one. I'm going to find some higher end makeup. Very cute. A little at the bottom lash. You can always tell when you're eating better. You can see it in your eyes. Your eyes have this sparkle and this glow to it. Like I've been eating salads for the last 3 days and yogurt only. And then I had my, last night we had a burger and fries. That's the first carb that I've had. And I just had a few, but you can tell when you start eating more vegetables and you start eating really healthy. I can see it in my eyes, and I didn't get much sleep last night, but I can see it in my eyes. The white of my eyes look better, and I have this real nice sparkle to my eye. Yeah. Okay, so we went in with this little pumpered up little lash, makes them longer or whatever. Now we're just going to use a little bit of regular mascara. I just have this little cheapy one right now, which I'm about ready to change. I probably had this one for about, maybe a month, so it's probably past due that I change it out. So I'm going to get a nice one. And it's just been so nice to sit here and just do my makeup in peace and quiet and just take my time How fun. And I'm not in the dark. No fun sitting in a dark room. It's always nice to change your perspective on things. So that means turn your chair around, face a different direction, move your furniture around, get a new perspective on life. I love doing that. I don't keep my furniture the same all the time. I love a new perspective. I love changing, looking at things in a different way. View the TV set in a different angle. You know, I got so sick of sitting there and watching the news, and every commercial would be about a sickness and a prescribed medication, a sickness and a prescribed medication. I'm like, oh my God, they are making the American people sick, you know, by putting this in their head. They're like brainwashing us to be sick, you know. I'm like, I'm not listening to it anymore. So I got away from that. I go up and I do my journal. I do some reading. I play on my computer. I do some writing. I do the things that I want to do instead of sitting there and listening to that all the time. And then once in a while, my husband and I will say, well, let's take dinner in the den. So we'll go and eat dinner in the den where our TV is. And we'll go there and we'll sit and we'll watch TV. And then after about an hour, I'm like, I gotta go. You know, I gotta go. I gotta leave this scene, man. I can't hack it anymore. It's like, oh my God, don't be putting and pressing that stuff in my head, you know? I did have another brush for, I'm just going to use this one, another brush for contouring. So bronzing. And I just am using this one, Essence, this bronzer powder. And I don't use it every day. I just use it sometimes. And while I'm messing around today, I just thought, well, why not try a little bit? See if it enhances me a little bit better. So I'm going to use it on the sides of my nose. You want to have your nose more slimline. I'm going to use it on my little cheekies here. Kind of blend them in a little more. A little darker so they blend in and don't show up so much. Oh, allergies. Terrible. And then maybe a little bit here on my forehead. Kind of frame around my forehead and blend in all of those other so there. I think we have done a pretty good job. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to take you into my kitchen. It's a mess right now. We cooked last night, and I did not get to do my dishes or wash my griddle. So life is life, right? And so we're just going to see what we can do. All right, we're going to go and take a little walk. Come with me. And we're going to the shavings in the garbage first. I'm going to plop you guys kind of over here. My little prep station over here. And I'm going to pull my yogurt out right here. But let me wash my hands first. Get some little light on. Whoa. I don't know how this thing always goes back to spray like that. It goes everywhere. I just have to rinse my dishes and put them in the dishwasher and let it go. But I have to wash my griddle by hand, of course. That goes on top of my stove. And it's really heavy. So I have to always be so careful with that. So I'm not going to take a whole lot of time because I have to do my chickens next, but I am going to show you the yogurt because I need to put it in different container so I can wash this crock pot. So what I do is I usually put a gallon of milk, whole milk. I want to start trying to do some plant-based ones, but I don't know how well I'll like plant-based yogurts. But I put a whole gallon of the regular vitamin D milk in this crock pot. I turn it on high and I leave it alone for a couple hours. And then I come back and I turn it down. And then I take it after that. I shut it off. And then I take it after that and I let it cool down to above room temperature, but a little bit on the warm side. It's not hot, but it's warm. And then I put my culture in there. So I either take like 2 tablespoons of regular yogurt, or I'll take the culture that it's in the envelope, the culture for yogurt that you can buy on Amazon. I'll link that below. I buy it all the time. And I'll put that in there, stir it up softly, you know, gently, stir it up. And then I will take it and put the lid back on, put it in my oven, only with the light on. No temperature, just the light is enough to get those cultures going. So then it makes really nice yogurt. I'm going to get some spoon and I'm going to find a couple containers, I hope. Because I don't think I have one big one like that with a lid or anything. Kind of short on. I like the smaller containers anyway because they're easy to pull out of the fridge. So I have 2 decent ones here. We'll see how much is left. I'm going to show you how nice it is. I should have saved that other container. It's right here. I had it in the recycle. I'm going to wash this one real quick, and then we have a third one that we can use, because I might need 3. Get a little soap going. That's one thing nice about saving your own yogurt containers is because you can make your own and put it in the same type of container, you know? All right, very nice. Okay, so that lid goes to that. All right. A big spoon. Take one of these spoons. Let me show you. See how nice and thick it is? Really nice and thick. So I am thrilled with it. Tastes delicious, great protein. I might have enough only for 2 containers. So we'll see. I mean, I ate some out of here already. Not out of here. I mean, I don't like that. In a bowl. I remember my sister that doesn't get along with me. Doesn't like me. Hasn't talked to me for years. But anyway, I remember one time going to visit her at her house. And she had this big pot of noodles. And it was probably a pot almost about this size. I'm going to get a paper towel. Clean that up. And she was sitting there eating out of it with a fork right out of the pot. I was like, what the heck, man? And I know our parents taught us better than that, but I was like, what the heck? I didn't say anything, but I'm just like, was thinking like, oh my gosh. And another time, I come home. We all still lived at home or whatever. And she had a boyfriend over. My parents were in Illinois or whatever. She had a boyfriend over. And she had made him a steak. And they were sitting on the living room floor eating steak from the living room floor. Yeah, I'm just going to need these 2 containers. All right, I can get that other one. And this thing is too heavy for me to try to turn. Get it all out. And hold it at the same time and scrape it. Don't do that. So then the next time, if I use this culture, see, it's going to get thinner if I use this next one. So I'm better off always using, I like to just use a store-bought yogurt for my culture. That way you know you get a nice, thick yogurt. Even though I thin it down, I put a little plant-based milk in there when I have my yogurt, and then I usually put a protein powder in there with it. Kind of keeps you satiated for a longer period of time. And it's more like a whole meal. I'm not going to be able to get all of this. But this is the easiest, simplest way to make yogurt. And sometimes you just don't know what you're getting in yogurt when you buy it. So it's much easier and safer for me to make my own. I love making my own because it is so simple. And it's amazing how it just gets nice and thick. All right, we'll wash that all up. And paper towel. Make this nice and clean. Nobody wants to go back to a junky bowl, right? Nice and clean when you prepare your meal. Nice. Nice and tight. So there, we have our yogurt. Look at that. 2 whole containers. And I've probably already eaten like 1 whole container from that. Because I've ate on, you know, I've had some out of here about this amount. So you can see how much a whole gallon gives you. Probably another one of these. So 2 of these and 1 of these. That's what a whole gallon will give you. Or maybe even a little more, because I think this time I used 3/4 gallon because I needed a little milk for another recipe I was making. So great. That cleans up my fridge. And this thing gets out of there. Ooh, I love that. And then maybe I could put on a pot of soup this afternoon. I could put on some split pea or something like that. That sounds so good. Split pea or lentil. This sounds really good. So I'm going to put this over in the... I'll have to wash this by hand, of course, and then do my other dishes. And maybe I'll just leave the film go. I'm going to put these other dishes in the... Here, I'll set you guys up here. Kind of far away, but I don't want to bump you. Okay, so we have these all clean. I got these real nice bowls from Amazon. I think we have 6 or 8 of them, and we use these for our dinner at night most of the time. Sometimes we'll use a paper plate if we're just like really hurrying up. And I did, if any of you watched the flatbread pizza I was making, where I made the dough was really good. It had a little honey in it, so it was nice and sweet. It had that garlic in there. It was delicious. But I didn't make the dough that next day. I think it was 2 days later. It was in the fridge, and 2 days later, I made the dough. And it was amazing. Even my husband said, "Would you make me one too?" I said, "Oh, you want this?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll take some." I said, because if it was wheat flour, usually he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to eat wheat flour, but he did, and he said it was good. And I put all his favorite toppings on, except for we did not have mushrooms. We probably had them in a can, but we're not going to use the salted ones, so we kind of skipped the mushrooms. But we had a lot of spinach and onion, red onion on there, and it was amazingly good. Very, very good. Okay, let's see what we have going. And I think I have a few dishes in here. So I have a pizza pan in there. I'm just going to fill this dishwasher. I already have the soap in. I put the soap in every time I start to load it. That way I know that it hasn't gone yet. Because sometimes you don't know if it went or not. So if you put the soap in there right when you start to pile it up, then you know that if that soap is still there, you didn't do dishes yet. It didn't go. Yeah, I don't have that much. And they were already rinsed out from last night. Up too high. So the lid can go. And then we have these 2 coffee cups from this morning. My husband usually has a coffee. I have a coffee once in a while. I had Earl Grey tea this morning, which is one of my favorites. It was delicious. Oops, goodness sakes. Careful, Karen, careful. And then there's these couple little silverwares. And then this one looks a little junky, so I'm going to try to help it out a little bit. Ooh, I have cold water. I made my husband regular burger last night, and I had turkey burger. It was good. Ooh. Okay. Alright, we're going to get a little warm water, I hope. I need to scrub this whole area. I was looking for a new dish drainer. I might go back to having that wooden one again. I like the looks of it. And I might get that, I don't know. I have it in my cart, but I was like, do I really want to get that again? I don't like it. If it can sit down in there, it's fine, but I don't like my dish drainer sitting on top. And I'm always pressed for time, so I don't have the time to like do the dishes. And I like to have one still, even though I have the dishwasher, because I still have to do a lot of different things by hand. Like this type of stuff, I don't put in my dishwasher. They can say it's dishwasher safe, but some things, and this is going to have to soak a little bit. I'm going to get some nice hot water in here. We can put this in the dishwasher, of course. I sometimes lay this on the top, so it has a top rack. Yeah. We'll just get this all nice and warm, and it'll come clean much easier. That is hot. I just got my arm. Okay, and then let's see about this pan. If this would fit, get some of this oil off. And then I like to spray the outside door with some little bit of mint and alcohol, so it stays kind of sanitized and that. Okay, we're going to let this set. We're going to wipe up just a little bit here and see what the heck. You know, we have this soap bottle. It gets all gunked up, you know. Everybody using it. A little bit of spray. I'll put my thing back. See how that sits there, and then it gets ugly underneath. So I gotta clean it up a little bit. And then I need to spray my counters all down and all that. I'll use this rag for that, and then it needs to go in the wash. And I got my milk. I need to make milk, so I got my jar for milk sitting out. Turn that the other way there. And that bar soap. My flowers are going kaput. Need new flowers. My jar. Make sure that it's clean. I might put this in the dishwasher. Let it go. Make sure it's sanitized. All right, and then I'm gonna take a look at my fridge and see if there's any dishes in there that need to come out. I'm just dripping this water all over. What the heck am I doing? Okay, then I'm gonna put that in there. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for helping me along with my little chores here today. It's always nice when you're here. So I'm gonna go for now, and I have to get to my little chicks. They need some fresh water. They seem to always have a little bit of food left. You know how they splash everything out. And we hope to get them outside this week. And I hope they're going to be able to go outside this weekend. All right, just drying what I wiped down. It holds moisture in the summer. Okay, and that will do it. And then I had to move these pots all around last night because I cooked over here on this side. So make sure they're looking halfway decent. I could probably put them back in my pantry, but I do love having them out for a while. I don't know, I think they're just so darn cute. And you see my griddle here. I'll be working on that today. So I have this griddle to clean and that pot. So I have my work cut out for me today. All this blue together. Together, together. We want you together. There. Turn you that way, turn you that way. And then my little spoon thing that goes back on my griddle when I get it cleaned. And that's it. And that's all she wrote. Okay, you guys, I will talk to you all real soon. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I would really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye for now. Love you guys. Bye for now.